You are welcome to this channel, viewers and students, to A-Startutors Academy. We have been looking at the question and answers of JAMB 2026 Chemistry. In the first video, we have treated the first 20 questions of Day 1, Batch 1. And we have treated the first 20 questions in the first video. In this video, we shall be looking at the remaining questions from 21 to 40. Question 21 to 40. I want you to pay attention, and I assure you that everything that will be explained about each question and the answers will be very clear. Question 21. The SI unit of pressure is Pascal. The SI unit of pressure is Pascal. So the correct option is C. Newton is the unit of force. Joule is the unit of work and energy. Watt is the unit of power. And for better information, for more information, 1 Pascal is equal to 1 Newton per meter square. 1 Pascal is equal to 1 Newton per meter square. There are other units of measuring gas pressure. We have atmospheric pressure, per ATM. We have millimeter mercury. We have Newton per meter square and the rest. So 1 Pascal is equal to 1 Newton per meter square. So in this option, the correct option is C, Pascal. Question number 21. Question number 21. Which of these is an alkali? Which of these is an alkali? Alkalines are also bases, but they are bases that are soluble in water. So the correct option is B, sodium hydroxide. The remaining options are acid. Let me expatiate more on alkali. An alkali is defined as a base that is soluble in water. We have examples like sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, and calcium hydroxide. These are the common examples of alkali. They dissolve in water and ionize to produce hydroxide ion, as represented by this equation. So when sodium hydroxide dissolves in water, it will ionize to produce these ions, and one of the ions is hydroxide ion. So a soluble base in water is called an alkali. The acid in these options are strong acids, HCl, H2SO4, and HNO3. So the only alkaline is B, sodium hydroxide. The next question, question 23. The boiling point of pure water is 100 degrees Celsius. The boiling point of pure water is 100 degrees Celsius. So pure water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. There are other liquids that have their boiling points, like pure ethanol. It boils at 78 degrees Celsius. So for water, it is 100 degrees Celsius. So the correct option is C. Question number 24. The element with the atomic number 11 is sodium. Sodium is the 11th element in the periodic table. According to the modern periodic table, elements are arranged in order of their atomic numbers, in increasing order of the atomic numbers. Every student is expected to be familiar at least with the first 20 elements. Every student of science should be familiar with the first 20 elements. Sodium is number 11 on the periodic table. And when we talk about atomic number of an element, it is the number of protons in the nucleus of an atom of the elements. So the atomic number of sodium is 11, meaning that the number of protons in an atom of sodium is 11. So the correct option here is B. The correct option here is B. Potassium is 19th element, magnesium is 12th, and calcium is 20 in the periodic table. Question number 25. Which bond involves sharing of electrons? The correct answer is C, covalent bonding. Let me expatiate more on these chemical bonds. We have 4 major chemical bonds in chemistry. We have ionic bonds. It's also known as electrovalent bonds. We have covalent bonds. We have coordinate covalent, also known as dative bonds. And we have metallic bonds. There are other bonds which are collectively referred to as intermolecular bonds, such as hydrogen bonds, van der Waals force, and dipolar force. Now, when we are talking about sharing of electrons, it is in covalent bonding that sharing of electrons between 2 combining atoms. The sharing of electrons pairs between 2 combining atoms, which are contributed equally by the 2 atoms. And the atoms are atoms of nonmetals. Covalent bonding occurs between atoms of nonmetals. Atoms of nonmetals, in which both atoms contribute equal number of electrons from the outermost shell and they share in pair. So the correct answer is C. For ionic, also known as electrovalent bond, it involves between atom of a metal and an atom of a non-metal. Atoms of metals and non-metals. So it involves metal and non-metal atoms, in which the metal atom behaves as electron donor. It donates a certain number of valence electrons from its outermost shell, which is accepted by the non-metal atom. So the electron donor is the metal atom, while the electron acceptor is a non-metal atom. That is in ionic bonding, and it's also known as electrovalent bonding. Metallic bonding occurs in metals between the positively charged atomic nuclei in the metal atoms and the revolving delocalized electrons. The electrostatic force of attraction that exists between the atomic nuclei of the atoms, which are positively charged, and the electrons, the delocalized electrons that revolve around the atomic nuclei in the metal. So the electrostatic force is what results into metallic bond. So for this question again, the bond which involves sharing of electrons is covalent. The option is C. The correct option is C. Question number 26. The reagent used to test for starch. The answer is iodine solution. Iodine solution. In qualitative analysis, which involve tests of ions and functional groups in organic substances, we test for ions mostly in inorganic substances, mainly salts, while we test for functional groups in organic substances such as starch, glucose, and the likes. There are some reagents that are used to confirm the presence or absence of ions or functional groups in the substances under test. For starch, to test for the presence or absence of starch, we use iodine solution. If starch is present in a substance, on adding the iodine drops, it turns blue-black or black-blue, blue-black or dark blue coloration. That is confirming that there is starch present in that substance. So iodine is a confirmatory reagent used for the test of starch in substances. Benedict solution is used to test for the presence of glucose, a reducing sugar. Or sometimes we can use Ferlin solutions. So Benedict or Ferlin solutions are both used to test for the presence of glucose or reducing sugar in a substance in the presence of heat. When Benedict solution or Ferlin solution is added to a solution of glucose and heated, the solution will produce, on heating, there will be brick red precipitates. That confirms that the substance contains glucose. That's with Benedict or Ferlin solution. Lime water is used to confirm that a gas is carbon dioxide, which is commonly known as carbon dioxide, CO2. When CO2 gas is passed for a short time into lime water, it turns milky. So the milkiness is an evidence that the gas that reacted with the lime water is carbon 4 oxide CO2. Carbon 4 oxide CO2. Lime water is a solution of calcium hydroxide, a saturated solution of calcium hydroxide. Litmus paper is used to test for the pH of a solution. We have two colors, blue and red. If a solution is acidic, we turn blue litmus paper red. And if it is an alkaline solution, it will turn red litmus paper blue. So these are the things, the tests that we use this solution for. For the starch, iodine solution is used as a reagent to test for starch. The answer is B. Question number 27. What is the formula of ammonia? The answer is B, NH3. NH4 does not exist except it's an ion. So it doesn't exist as a molecule in that form. So it is not correct. NH2 is not a molecule as it is. NH2OH does not exist. So the correct formula for ammonia is B, NH3. Ammonia is a gas. And let me also say something about ammonia. Ammonia is an alkaline gas, the only alkaline gas known for now. The only alkaline gas that can turn blue, damp, red litmus paper blue. Ammonia gas can turn moist, red litmus paper blue. That confirms that it's an alkaline gas. So the formula is NH3. So the correct option is B. Question 28. The process by which plant manufacture food is called photosynthesis. Plants manufacture their own food substance, mainly glucose, by photosynthesis in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. And in the process, oxygen is liberated. Oxygen is released as a byproduct. The main product is the food substance produced, usually glucose. So the answer is C. The answer is C. Question 29. Which gas turns lime water milky? We have come across that question above. So the correct answer is carbon dioxide, CO2. CO2. Question 30. What is the formula of common salts? The answer is A, NaCl. NaCl. Option B does not exist. Such a formula does not exist. Option D does not exist. We don't have such. Option C, that one exists, but it's not for common salt. Common salt is also known as sodium chloride. Common salt is also known as sodium chloride. That is their UPAC name. Sodium chloride. Sodium chloride. This does not exist. This does not exist. This exists. Option C exists. That is sodium oxochlorate 1. Sodium oxochlorate 1. But it's not the correct formula for sodium chloride or common salt. So the correct formula is NaCl. Option A. Question 31. The lightest gas is hydrogen. Is the lightest gas among other gases. Hydrogen is the lightest gas. By calculating the molecular mass, this is represented by this formula. That's the molecular formula. Calculating the molecular mass is 2 times 16. The atomic mass is 16, and that gives you 32 gram per mole. 32 gram per mole. Hydrogen is represented as H2, and by calculating the molecular mass, we have 2 times 1. An atom is 1. So 2 times 1 will give us the molecular mass of 2 grams per mole. Chlorine is represented by this formula, Cl2. And when you calculate the molecular mass, it's going to give us 2 times 35.5. The atomic mass, the relative atomic mass of a chlorine atom is 35.5. And this gives us 71 grams per mole. While nitrogen is represented by this formula. The atomic mass of nitrogen atom is 14. 2 times 14 will give us 28 grams per mole of that gas. So among them, you can see that the lightest, that is the one that has the least molecular mass, the least relative molecular mass or molar mass is hydrogen. So that's the lightest gas among all the gases, all the common gases known. Question 32. The nucleus of an atom contains the presence of protons and neutrons. Protons and neutrons. The atomic nucleus contains protons and neutrons, and the two contribute to the mass of the atom. And that is why if you are calculating the mass number, that is the mass of an atom, is based on the sum of protons and neutrons. So the addition of protons and neutrons gives the mass of the atom, which is known as the mass number. So protons and neutrons are in the nucleus, inside the nucleus of an atom. So the correct option is C. Question 33. The percentage of oxygen in air, that's percentage by volume of oxygen in air, is approximately 21%. When you consider the volumetric, the composition of air by volume, we have approximately 78% of nitrogen, which is the largest gas in the air, followed by oxygen, which is 20.8%, but approximately 21%. Carbon dioxide is 0.03%. The noble gas is collectively equal to 1%, and water vapor is variable. So air consists of 5 main constituent gases: nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, water vapor, and the noble gases. The largest among them by volume is nitrogen, followed by oxygen. So oxygen is approximately 21% of the volume of air collected. So the answer is A. Question 34. The formula for calculating density. Density is measured in gram per cm cube. That means density is mass over volume. That's mass divided by the volume. So the correct answer is B, mass divided by volume. Question 35. The commonest isotope of hydrogen is protium. C. We have 3 isotopes of hydrogen. 3 common isotopes of hydrogen. They are 3. The 3 common hydrogen, we have hydrogen 1, that is the one called protium. We have hydrogen 2, that's the one with mass number of 2. This one is called deuterium. And we have hydrogen 3, the one with mass number of 3. This one is called tritium. These are the 3 common isotopes of hydrogen. But the commonest one is protium, the one with mass number of 1. Protium. So the answer is C. Let's go to question 36. Which of the following is an acid? The correct option is B, H2SO4, also known as tetraoxosulfacic acid by UPAC name. Tetraoxosulfacic acid, or commonly known as sulfuric acid, is the only acid. Others are alkalines or bases. Sodium hydroxide, NOH, is a base or alkaline. Ammonium hydroxide, NH4OH. Potassium hydroxide, they are all alkalines. So the only one that is an acid is B, H2SO4, and it's a strong acid. The valency of oxygen is 2 in compounds. The answer is B. Question 38. The process of coating iron with zinc is called galvanizing. Galvanizing is when iron is coated with zinc metal to prevent rusting. to prevent rusting or corrosion. Rusting of iron can be prevented by different methods. So when it is coated on the surface with zinc, we call it galvanizing. Coating a metal with another metal is generally known as electroplating by electrolytic methods. So galvanizing is specifically the name of the process of electroplating or coating iron on the surface against rusting with zinc. Coating iron with zinc against rusting is specifically known as galvanizing. That's C. Question 39. The gas produced during photosynthesis is oxygen. It's a byproduct. Photosynthesis is the process by which green plants make their food, which is commonly known as glucose. And it is represented by this equation. This is the equation of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis requires carbon dioxide from the air, combined with water from the soil absorbed by the root of the plant, by the plant roots, carbon dioxide combining with water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, which is responsible for the green color of plants. Then it will produce the glucose, which is represented by this molecular formula. This is the food substance, which is mainly glucose. And there will be oxygen gas liberated in the process. Oxygen is not required by plants. So during photosynthesis, it is released into the surroundings. The equation must be balanced. As a science student, when you write the equation, you balance the equation. So put 6 here, we put 6 here, and we also put 6 here. You have balanced the equation. This is a balanced equation of photosynthesis in green plants. So the oxygen produced is a byproduct. The main product in this process is the glucose or the carbohydrates that the plant takes in as food. So the correct option is C. That's the gas that is released. Question number 40, which is the last question. Which instrument is used to measure temperature? The correct answer is thermometer. Thermometer. That's what we use to measure temperature. So we have come to the end of the question and answer of 2026 JAMB Chemistry, the day 1 and batch 1. Thank you. We want you to subscribe to this channel. In case you have any topic that you want us to explain, that you want explanation for better understanding, or you want any means of helping you in your performance in chemistry, kindly drop your comment in the comment section. Kindly help to subscribe to this channel and share and like. Drop your comment. Any topic that is challenging, drop your comment. We shall treat it as soon as possible. Thank you.